obviously the last 3 years, we've been having a lot more of these conversations. I would say more openly. I would say we've been seeing more people open to having these conversations, actively seeking out these conversations. So in terms of the work you all are doing, have you seen your processes shift from like really going after organizations, going out to community organizations, going out to sponsors or corporate partners, vice versa, people coming to you and saying, hey, Zoe, Jerrell, like we want people to come to us, like come to our organization, like partner us with the team. Like, can you talk to me a little bit about if there was a switch or kind of how you guys are dealing with all of these probably requests? In my mind, I could see you guys having a lot of people that are like, we want to do this programming too. How do you guys manage that? And how do you say, okay, here's who we're working with, here's who we're not, you know, are there limits to some of the things that you do?
So I feel like my answer will be the shorter one. So I'll go real fast and kick it over to Jerrell. But from a personal standpoint, I was brought into RISE and I started the week after George Floyd's murder. So it was a very busy time in the country. It was a very hard time in the country, but at RISE, it was really, things were picking up. And so we did have a lot of people reaching out to us to grow our work. I think that there was a shift from RISE doing a lot of external outreach to people coming to us and seeing us as a leader in this space. I think from a standpoint of our ability to grow, it was an unfortunate convergence, but that convergence of the social justice platforms happening in the United States combined with COVID, it allowed us to switch to a more digital platform. And so we were able to do more work with partners throughout the country in a faster time period. Because of that, we had to move pretty quickly to switch things over, but the team on the program side was absolutely incredible and really hit the ground running to be able to make the transition and work with a lot more people.
Yeah, and I agree with Zoe, and my experience has been the same as Zoe. I started probably about a few months after Zoe in August 2020, and basically what Zoe's saying has been my experience here at RISE too. And we're seeing a lot of partners come to us, and not only come to us for the education, but also come to us to change their sport, right? We're working with a great partner called SailGP. They're like this global sailing organization, and they're made up of right now 10 teams, and those 10 teams are national teams across the globe. And they've come to us asking for our help to how do you diversify the sport of sailing, right? Which is a predominantly white sport, and you have to have some type of access to a boat and water to participate in, right? So they've come to us asking for help, and they've identified an initiative called a Foiling First Learning How to Foil Camp, right? And it's really to bring various organizations at the youth level that may not have access to water or a boat and diversify the sport and show them that foiling can be made for everybody, right? So we do these camps with them, and we invite folks from underserved communities to participate in sailing, to show them that there's a sport and there's access to it. But also, you don't have to be interested in sailing, because part of SailGP is also the technology piece of it, right? They have a huge partnership with Oracle, and they use technology to grow their sport. How fast can this boat go? What's the data we receive? So how do you tie that back to STEM, right? Sport, again, is a convener, but not everybody knows how to play a sport or wants to play in a sport, but they might be interested in science or technology or math or whatever that topic may be or interest level may be. So we do a lot of great things with partners on, one, understanding their goals and initiatives that they have, on educating, but also empowering. And that's where SailGP is really, really doing a good job on empowering themselves to go out in the community and identify ways to support and diversify their sport.